to be blessed and peace. I want to thank you all for coming, though. It means a lot to me and my family, and we just love you all. And Mama's not suffering no more. You know, she's in a better place than we are, to be honest. And I just see her in peace, and she's with her. I say to her man. She's with Daddy now. She's not suffering. She's resting in peace. She looks like a movie star, and that's the way she wanted to leave, looking like a movie star. So, my son Michael, he's going to share a word, and we'll head up there to the cemetery. Okay? Thank you so much.
Like my mom said, I just want to thank everybody, all family and friends that were able to make it today, and the ones that are hopefully still on their way, that God would give them traveling mercies to where they're coming to. I know that it's a very difficult thing to see a loved one pass, and this is not just no loved one. This is to her grandkids and to her own kids and to her great grandkids. This was my mom. This lady right here, we all could have endless stories about this wonderful lady, this awesome lady. She overcame so much in her times, even as far as with my grandfather being sick and him having cancer, colon cancer. This lady had to be strong for him. And I thank God at that time that God did not take my grandfather at that time, because it would have been devastating for my grandmother at that time in her life. So him still staying alive and him still fighting gave her the opportunity to keep fighting, even all the way to the end. And it seemed to amaze me that at the time that she was taking her last breaths in the hospital, all these nurses are giving their, you know, I heard the squabbles going on about, you know, my grandmother, she's not going to make it for the next couple of hours. And, you know, them hours went on, and they said, oh, she's not going to make it through the night. And then the night went on, and my mother called me in the morning, she's still alive. Because that's who my grandmother was. She was a fighter. She was a fighter. And I can only imagine as she was laying there, not in her deathbed, but in the next level, going on to the next place, she was going to go into paradise with God. I can imagine that she was sitting there just hearing these nurses go on about, oh, she's not going to make it through the next couple hours. My grandmother, she was a feisty cat. She was a stubborn woman. We loved her. But that's the way she was. I can imagine she was just saying, you know what? These nurses, they're crazy. They're off their mind. I'm not going to go when they want me to go. I'm going to go when I'm ready to go. I'm going to go. And I know that this lady was loved by many people. Not only her own grandkids, by her own kids and her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren. But this is not just a place. I understand that we come into this place, and this is a place where people come to lay down to rest. But my grandmother, she's not at rest. Yes, right now, physically in this earthly world right now, she's resting right now. But man, if you can only put your spiritual glasses on and see that right now, my grandmother, she's clothed in all of God's glory. Amen. She went to a better place. See, God said that He would give us a better place that He made for us, that He prepared for us. And I just want to share a couple of things. I know it's difficult to come in and we deal with, you know, death of our loved ones. And we come in and you know, we come in and we come in to mourn and this and that, and we come into grief for our grandmother. But this is not a time for grievance right now. It's not a time for mourn. This is a time for us to celebrate. My grandmother lived a good life. She overcame so much, so many obstacles, so many circumstances, so many sicknesses, you know, and now she comes to rest. It's not only to rest, but she's gone on to the next level. My grandfather came back for her to proclaim and to take what is his through Jesus Christ. God allowed her to stay this long with us for this very reason, is to love us. I remember this wonderful woman was driving to the projects, and you know, I posted something on my Facebook that, you know, growing up in the projects, it was hard. Being raised with a single parent and, you know, living in a poverty state, we didn't always have much, and what we had, we were happy with. But this lady will come in. Sometimes I'd be running around with no shoes. Sometimes jab flats. That's all we had. With the Chinese Bruce Lee Kung Fu jab flats.
That was the style.
That was the style back and everybody would come full fighting. But, you know, this lady would come in, and there was times, you know, things were hard. Maybe we missed a meal, maybe we skipped a meal, but this lady would come in, and oh man, you know, take us, like I said, take us to the happiest place in the hood. And that was McDonald's, right up the street. You know, Happy Meals made us happy. And thank you God for this lady. Not only did she do it for us, she did it for all her grandkids, all her own kids. You know, she, like I said, she was a feisty cat. But thank God for her. I may not stand here today and inherited millions of dollars, but I thank God that I had done research on my family tree. Her own father is what God has called me to do, is to be a pastor, to be an evangelist, to go out there and to speak to those who are blind out there in the world. So I thank God for this woman, because my great-grandfather, he laid the foundation for me. He's laid it for all of us, for our great-grandchildren, her children, our grandkids, my kids, the next kids that are coming after. They laid that foundation. So I know that she believed. She was a believer. And she believed. She was like my wife, a pastor's daughter. She believed. So she knew the way, the truth, and the life, and who that person was. And that's what made her strong, even through the times when my grandfather, he suffered with colon cancer, and he beat it, he fought. We came from a bloodline of fighters. We're fighters. We're all fighters. We all find our way. We all find our way through it, to fight, to circumstances that sometimes pull a grip on us. But I thank God for this woman. And I just want to share something real fast before I close up. I don't even know why I wrote notes. It always happens this way. Even when I go to preach at church, I never go off my notes. God just takes me somewhere else, and I'm just... But I just want to share this with you, this right here. And it comes out of John. John 14, 1 through 6. And the Word of God says, do not let your hearts be troubled. Don't let your hearts be troubled. For this woman, she's in a better place. She's in a better place than we are right now. We have to still live in this world, this darkness of a world that we live in. But don't be troubled. God is speaking right here. He said, don't be troubled. Don't let your hearts be troubled. I love her too. I want to cry. I want to weep. But this is not time to weep. It's to celebrate. Today's celebration day. So don't let your heart be troubled. You believe in God, we also believe in me. My Father's house has many rooms. God has already prepared a place for this woman. She's already prepared a place for my grandmother with many rooms. And this is a room. This is not, we're not talking about no Motel 6. We're not talking about the Shiloh or the Hyatt or the Hilton. We're talking about... There you go, guys. We're talking about a better place.
Yes.
That she's at now.
Amen.
So our Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you, to prepare a place for her, to prepare a place for you and me when that time comes? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. See, God wants us to go to that same place. Some of us may be believers and some of us not. But the ones that do believe, God has prepared a place for us. That is beyond this world. That is beyond anything that your mind can imagine. And that is the kingdom that has many rooms. Right now, this lady, this woman right now, she is, if you were to put your spiritual glasses on, she is right now wrapped in God's all his glory. Wrapped in his majesty. Right now, she's already a beautiful woman as she is. She's got more jewelry on than anything could possible. You can imagine. You know the place that I am at. You know the way to the place where I am going. And this is the last right here. Thomas said to him, Lord, we do not know where you are going. So how can we know the way? And this right here, Jesus tells us the way. Verse 6, Jesus answered, I am the way. She knew the way. At her growing up, I knew that inside of her heart she had Christian beliefs. Christ-like beliefs, because my great-grandfather was a preacher man. He believed. So she believed. And inside of her heart, she believed. She knew the way. She knew the truth. So he says, I am the way and the truth and the life. Her life might end here on earth, but it just started. She may be laying there resting right now. But like I said, if you were to put your spiritual glasses on, she's very much alive and still breathing. She's in this place right now, not by herself. She's with my grandfather. And she lives more than $1 million. She's all dressed up. Not with no place to go. She's got the greatest place to go. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys as my family and my friends. And I want to thank everybody for coming. Like I said, I know it hurts me. We all have our stories about my grandmother and endless stories that could go on and on. But this is a day to celebrate. To celebrate her second life. Celebrate a better life. And she don't have to worry about no more sickness, and she don't have to worry about any infections, or she has so much more to live for now. And she's going to a better place. So I just want to thank you all for coming.
You.
So we're going to be getting ready pretty soon to go up to the burial site. I can't even think right now. That was beautiful, Mijo. I thank you so much for sharing from your heart. Yeah, she was a mom to my boys because I was a mess in the projects. I was always out there in the streets doing my own thing. I was depressed. And she would always pick up my boys. I thought they were kidnapped. And I'd go running all over asking everybody, where's my boys at? Have you seen them? And she took them. She didn't even have to ask me. Go feed them and give them shoes. And she helped me a lot when I needed somebody. And she took care of my boys. And I thank God that he gave me a chance to be here today, because I promised my dad I would be there for him. But I had to clean up my life first. And God picked me to one day to say, come on, follow me now. Because I have plans for you. I didn't understand the plans, but I'm glad and I'm very grateful for being there for my mom and my dad and my sister. She's my backbone. Thank you, sis. Omar, he quiets me down. He's the calmer one here. I thank you, Christopher, your grandma, your great-great-grandma. She loved you so much, Mijo. Jamie, grandma loved you, but you guys live in Fresno, so you're the little princess, Mijo. Your grandpa and your grandma, they're together now. We gotta stay here until it's time for us to go, but you can't keep your eyes on Jesus. Mama's gonna be your little guardian angel, grandpa. Okay? Mr. Omar and Roy, thank you for always going to the swap meet and seeing my dad there. He'd always come home from the swap meet so happy. My grandson went over there. My little grandson Larry. We got a lot of Larrys in our family. The Moss, you guys really made my dad those days, those times so happy. Monique and Mike, thank you for being here. My granddaughters and my best friend, I haven't seen her for years. We found each other on Facebook. She used to babysit my son Michael so I could take off.
But Mary's and Mr. Gonzalez, I call them, very lovely people. They had no judgment. They knew what, Anna would know it, Pauline would. They never said nothing. They just remember, going to Brooklyn and buying the kids things and feeding them, and, is she okay? And she wouldn't know this, but she would call me and I said, she's okay. I seen her here, she's okay. Always and visit her at her lovely house. I adored because she was like a queen. Or Soto Street, back then, you look at it now, it's